Welcome, everyone, to Killarney Park for the grand final of the Canadian Club Rugby Championships. We're going to get to the anthems here in a second, so I'll just hold off on announcing the starting lineups. Rain is finally held off here for this afternoon. Doing this match between the Brantford Harlequins and the EBC Old Boy Ravens of Vancouver. Just getting ready for the anthems. The crowd's filling up here. Stands are almost packed.
Would you please rise and remove your hats for the singing?
And we're going to go over here the national anthem.
McKinley Bourne is going to lead us in No Canada. Thank you.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love, in all thy sons command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Beautiful rendition there of Oh Canada. Before we go, I'm going to just go quickly through the starting lineups for the Harlequins from Brantford, Ontario. Starting at prop, Cullen Fawcett, loose head. Dave Neal's the hooker. Graham Mahar is the tight head. The twins, Tom and Josh Van Horn, are the locks. Colby Francis is playing at number 6. Lucas McIver is the open side flanker at number 7. Graham McKelvey is number 8. Adam Schoutens 9. Steve Pitek is 10. The centers are Jordan Kazina and Hugh McDonnell. Hugh's brother Rory is playing 15 today. The two wingers are Connor Fitzsimmons and Joe Newman. For the Ravens, front row is Dimitri Kostopoulos, Nathan Kendrick at hooker. Curtis Delmonico is playing tight end. The locks are Cameron McWilliam, Brian Moylette. The back row is Jesse Lee, who played lock yesterday, or on Friday, sorry. David O'Donoghue didn't play on Friday. He's starting at number 7 today, and captain in the side. Connor Hamilton's number 8. The halfbacks, Jordan Sandover Best and Lavu Vala. The center pairing is Cole Hendrickson and Connor Braid. And the back three is Jeffrey, Sean Ferguson, and Aaron McClellan at 15. There's the kickoff. Taken cleanly by Van Horn. I believe that's his brother hitting it up there. Another good tackle there. That's Graham. Sorry, that's Curtis Delmonico. Shouting. Slow ball there by the Harlequins. The Ravens have got a good line speed in their defense so far. There's Van Horn, nice little tip pass. I'm not sure that was who had hit up. Shouting again, Pitek. Don't appear willing to kick it. They've knocked it on there. I think that was the center. Here's Kendrick, strong on his feet. First time the Ravens have touched the ball. Sandover Best. Now there's knock-on advantage here to the Ravens. It'll be our first scrum of the game. Interesting, the Harlequins on the Friday night game, they didn't appear to want to kick from their own end. Exits were not their strategy at all. They just seemed to run it every single time. It worked out for them in that game. They've liked to play a nice, expansive, wide game. So we'll see with the wet field and the greasy ball how that pans out for them today. If I were to guess, I'd say the Ravens are outweighed here in the pack by at least 50 pounds, maybe 100 pounds total. And here's our first set. Shouting, towering over Jordan Sandover best. Tall scrum half. Solid platform. Releases it. Quick ball there. It's Cole Hendrickson hitting up from 13, or from 12, sorry. That's Brian Moylette. It's a poor pass there by Sandover Best, but it looks like they're offside. And that's what Mr. Asmus has called. They're offside there at the ruck. It'll be interesting to see if the Ravens go for points, so they go for the corner. Looks like McClellan's going to kick for the corner. Interesting with Connor Braid's accurate kicking from the other day that they wouldn't go with him again for an easy penalty there, but they're going to work their line out. Full man line out here for the Ravens. They throw it in the middle, but it's stolen. Van Horn got up real quick. He's passed it into his in goal, and that's going to be a scrum 5 for the Ravens. Good steal there by the Harlequins. The lock pairing here for the Harlequins, apparently they're twins, and they're large boys and very active. So we'll see how they combat here against the Ravens. Second put in for the Ravens. Pass with the feed. Good scrum. He's playing penalty advantage here. Best. He's at the Moylette. That's Kendrick. That's Connor Braid. There's Moylette again, crashing towards the line. He's about a meter short. Best looking left, he's looking right. This McWilliam slithers over, and yes, that's Cam McWilliam, the first try of the game. Just slithered there underneath the tackler. Bestie fed him with a beautiful little pop pass. That's our first try of the game. Quick score there early and outside half here. Connor Braid will try to attack on the extras. So the exit strategy here for the Harlequins. We'll see what they do on the restarts as we go further through the game here.
Raven try was scored by Cameron McWilliam and Connor Braid. The score is now Raven 7, Brantford 0.
So the score is the Ravens 7 and the Harlequins nothing. P-Tech's going to be the one to take the restarts by the looks of things. Picks his favorite ball. He decides to kick it deep, just inside the 22. Good kick. McClellan returns the favor. Strikes, good strike, but I don't think he gained very many meters. Probably got about 20 meters, 25 meters on that kick. And the Harlequins are going quickly here. Running a little short man line out. It's sloppy. It was spoiled by the Ravens. I don't think it was knocked on. That's Mahar hitting it up. P-Tech. Short ball to the 13. That's a MacDonald. He's knocked it on again. Second time in a row he's knocked it on this game. Captain won't be happy with that effort. And it's our third scrum here for the Ravens. Great spot to scrummage from here. Midfield. Ravens have split their backs. McClellan to the right with Ferguson. And they got an automatic overload here on their left-hand side. Strong scrum. O'Donoghue had to release that ball. And Vala decides just to kick it forward, gain themselves about 10 meters. And it'll be the Harlequins line out. Let's see if the Harlequins try to go quick here and speed this game up. Little four-man line out here. Clean. Shouting. Out to the number 8. That's Graham McKelvey. Looks like it was stripped maybe in the tackle. Kendrick hits it up on the turnover. Poor pass there by Best. Throws it way out the back door. And Braid has to field it. He just puts it high in the air. It's a winger, Fitzsimmons. I think that's Joe Newman, sorry. And the Ravens with the penalty. That's their first one of the game.
Great call. Great call.
Well, the Quins are definitely looking the way they want to play, wide and fast. So this could be an exciting game. Could be high scoring. B-Tech looking for touch. Finds it.
Hit that tree. That's where it should be.
Nice kick. He gained about 30 meters on that at a sharp, sharp angle. They come up again with another short man line out. This time they just throw it down the back. No one's there. That's copy number 8. Graham McKelvey. They set the platform. P-Tech. Quick boulders inside center. Kazina. P-Tech. Both wingers involved here. That's Fitzsimmons on the ground, but there's a little knock on there, I think, by the fullback Macdonell as he joined the line. Interesting back move by the Harlequins there. Both wingers joined this near side. They flooded the channel with their entire back three. And we're going to have another scrum here to the Ravens. I think this is their fourth one of the game. Feed by Best. This time the Quins get a good push on. Very good push on. Best releases to Valu. He's in trouble. He pushed pass out to McClellan. McClellan tackled there, before, number 14, Joe Newman. Slow ball. Best he waits for his forwards to regroup. Box kick. I think he was just outside the 22, so they can't go straight into touch. This number 11, Connor Fitzsimmons. Again, they're not kicking anything back. The Harlequins, very interesting tactic.
That's Joe Newman.
Check that. That's Joe Newman. Nice run there by McKelvey. Stripped again in the tackle. I don't think he's signaled for a knock on yet. So good call there, Mr. Asmus. It was stripped out of his hands. Ravens under tremendous pressure off their own line. They've lost this ball. Quick ball. There's P-Tech. He's got space outside here. This is the fullback. No. He's very close to the line. P-Tech snipes it just like a scrum half. And they're got to be only a meter short here. He gets slow ball. They look left, they look right. They're burrowing in here. The Ravens defense stands strong. Driven them back at least a meter. Shouting, looking left, looking right. Slow ball. Shouting again. Skips it out. P-Tech. Good tackle there. That's Ferguson. They called a knock-on advantage. Good defense there by the Ravens. They flooded that channel quickly. Line speed was exceptional. And the faithful from Brantford are calling for the offside. Yeah, just been informed by some of the fans there back in Brantford. I mixed up the numbers on my team sheet, or someone mixed them up. I'll blame it on someone else, of course. So But number 14 is Connor Fitzsimmons. Number 11 is Joe Newman. So I'll try to keep that straight there, folks. Sorry about that. And here's another scrum for the Ravens. Inside their own 22. Best with the feed. Last scrum was very good by the Harlequins. Hamilton off the back. Best finds touch.
Pick a tree! Any tree! Where are you going, sir?
There's a throw. Van Horn taps it back. It's a loose line out. But they regain.
Hold on to the ball.
That's McKelvey. Shouting. Pitek.
Help him!
Strong on his feet there. That's Kazina.
Not help! Not help! 13's offside!
Shouting. Van Horn. Shouting again. Nice inside ball.
Are you okay?
Shouting. Pitek.
Question?
Good pass. This is McIver, the loose flanker. They're getting good, quick ball here. Ravens are not contesting any rucks. Pitek.
He came from the offside.
There's Van Horn again. These two locks are very active. There's number 1, Fawcett. Slow carry, but he makes the gain line. There's the tight head lock. Mahar just working it left and right, left and right. Again, the Ravens don't contest. Pitek. Kazina. Another solid run. Makes the gain line again. Slow ball. That's Francis. Again, it's stripped. No knock on again. The Ravens are looking to strip these balls almost every tackle. But they're having to work really hard. This is O'Donoghue. Best box kicks. He's inside his 22. He's looking directly into touch. And we'll have another Harlequins line out.
Good job, White!
Best only gained about 5 meters there on that kick. And the ball's gone over the fence. But we got a replacement. Harlequins go down the back. It was overthrown slightly and not straight, so Mr. Asmus is offering a scrum to the Ravens. Interesting, Harlequins haven't had one scrum on their own feet yet this game. I think this is about the 7th. Pass with the feed. Solid scrum. Hamilton off the back. He rambles straight at the number 10, Pitek. Solidly tackled. This is O'Donoghue. Inside ball to Best. Great support line by Jordan Best. He's on his own, though. And he's going to leg it out. Great little inside ball there by O'Donoghue. For sure, check that. That might have been Jesse Lee. They're both wearing headbands, so it's kind of tough to tell who's who, but that was a beautiful little inside ball. I think it was O'Donoghue. And Best scores the second try of the game, basically from nothing there, other than a quick ball after a good run by Connor Hamilton. So Braid will try to add the extras. It's 12-0 here for the Ravens. Before we go any further, let's introduce who the referees are for today's game. Chris Asmus has the wonky whistle in the middle. And it's Harry Mason and Dave Smorcheski are his ARs on either side. Brave with a strike. It's high. And it's over. Another conversion by Brady. He hasn't missed a conversion the entire tournament so far. He went 6 for 6 yesterday, and he's 2 for 2 today.
Ravens 14.
Come on, boys.
So it'll be P-Tech again to restart. Interesting that he's wearing 2 different colored boots. I don't know if anyone can pick that up on the television screen. One's orange, one's yellow. Nice kickoff. That's Jesse Lee. Takes it strong into contact. Best looking to box kick. Ravens have a distinct tactic here. Every time they're inside their own 22 or even close to it, they're box kicking back to the Harlequins, who in turn are running it. This time, however, it's the fullback. Nice kick. Nice kick there by McDonnell. Driving Freeze back all the way to his 5-meter line. Valu. Mediocre kick. Gain maybe 15, 20 meters there. And again, the Harlequins will have a line out in the Ravens zone. They go quickly at the front. That's Colin Fawcett barreling over the winger. Shouting. P-Tech. Kazina. That's Newman. Again, ball slow. P-Tech looking for an inside ball. Might have been forward.
I don't think it was.
McElhinney hits it up. Callum Fawcett hits it up. The loose head prop. He's had a lot of carries, the big man. There's Mahar. Quins are content to go sideline to sideline here. McDonnell driving his feet, staying strong in contact. Shouting. Hits one of the big locks there, one of the Van Horns. McIver. Look, it was knocked on in the tackle, though. So it'll finally be a scrum to the Harlequins. Good position here on the right field side of the post. So let's see how they do with an offensive scrum. The scrum's been solid so far, except for the one mishap on their own goal line. Here's the feed by Schouten. Scrum got dumped. Looks like Asmus just called them both for slipping.
Second one's a penalty.
Feed by Schouten. Nice quick strike. And they got the scrum marching forward. They've got a penalty advantage. McAvey off the back. That's Van Horn. Nice ball here. This is Francis, takes it up. P-Tech. He knows he's on penalty advantage with crossfield kick. Good contest in the air. But McClellan won the aerial battle there. But they got a penalty there right in front of the sticks. It'll be interesting to see if they take the 3. That scrum was solid, the last one. They're coming back for this scrum infraction. Looks like he's calling it for dropping their binds. And they're going to take a shot at goal. So P-Tech's the goal kicker. You can hear the fans down below me here. I'm picking up the pronunciations of these names.
Let's go. Right back at it, boys. Let's go.
So the penalty's over by P-Tech.
And the penalty taken by Brantford is good. The score is now Ravens 14, Brantford 3.
Go, Twins. Gotta lock this out. Mama hard.
So Val do the restart.
Let's go again. Let's go.
Go on. Restart.
So they got all forwards on the left-hand side. They're going to go deep. Check that. It's a short ball. Van Horn's up. And the Ravens have won it cleanly. Best hands it back to McClellan. McClellan with a little shake. Ball's loose. The good counter ruck by the Harlequins. Looks like they've won this ball back. Very aggressive counter ruck. Very well done. Mahar goes to ground. Shouting. Looking for McAvey. McKelvey with a good strong run. This is McIver. They go back to the right-hand side. This is Van Horn. Shoutin has options both sides this time. Nice little offload there. Mahar down with a run. Ravens are doing a good job of slowing them down. And they won themselves a penalty. I think that was Jordan Sandover best over that ball. McClellan will do the kicking duties here.
Where's the mark, sir?
Good strong kick. Doesn't get much distance though.
Good tree selection.
Gained about 20 meters. So the Ravens coming with a short line out here. Looks like a 5-man. And they throw to the front. Win it clean. Looks like a penalty to the Harlequins for playing the man in the air. He got submarine there when he was up in the air. That's Jesse Lee. Looks like it might be time off. Might have hurt himself. I think it was accidental. I don't think it was anything malicious, but playing the man in the air is the official call. Fourth penalty there to the Harlequins. Looks like Braid might be setting up for a kick at goal here. No, McCullen's taking it over. He decided to kick for touch. Lee's okay. Just shaking up a little bit. And he kicks it right to the 22. So again, not much of a gain, but he gained about 20 meters. Another lineout. Looks like they're running the 5-man again. Funny, the Ravens showed nothing but full-man lineouts against the Loyalists. They mixed in a little 5-man here. Kendrick to throw. They look to the middle. It's sloppy. And it wasn't straight. So it'll be a scrum feed to the Harlequins. And they decided to go for a lineout. Interesting call. Van Horn. Scrum was very strong the last couple of sets, but they would like to go for the lineout anyway. And they got a little driving ball going there after 5-man. Ravens take it to deck. And that's the first. Or sorry, check that. The second penalty that the Ravens have taken, but obviously call it for collapsing the maul. Good clean Leno win there by the Harlequins on their 5-man. And P-Tech kicks for touch. and he gains about 20 meters. So we're going to throw here right at the halfway line. Harlequin's trying to speed play up. Quick ball again at the front. Interesting that when that option's open, they're just taking it and not waiting for anybody. This is Van Horn with his brother on his right, looking for a tip. But must have been a little shepherding there. Penalties are killing the Harlequins so far. McCulling again, kicks for touch. This time a much better kick. Gained about 30 meters this time. Again, the Ravens come in with a 5. Clean take. Best. Valu. O'Donoghue. Now they call penalty advantage. Hamilton. Ferguson. Slow ball. And he's bringing them back for the penalty advantage.
Bullshit!
So off their feet at the ruck there. Probably could have been called either way. And Brady line up for a penalty. So interesting, the Ravens had a couple of kickable penalties before and elected now just to take the 3. Perhaps just to keep the scoreboard ticking over here as we approach the halfway point. Kicks it very high, and it's over. Connor Braid. So far, he's 100% kicking in this tournament. In 6 converts the game before, he's 2 for 2 on conversions today and 1 for 1 on penalties. Guess that's why he plays for Canada. So the score is 17-3. P-Tech to restart. Kicks a little shorter this time. Jesse Lee takes it cleanly. Good strong run. But the Quins have turned it over. Well done. It was a good strong run, but they hung with it. And he didn't release. So penalty goes the way of the Harlequins. And P-Tech will look for kicking for touch. Doesn't gain many meters, about 10. They got an attacking line out here on the 8-meter line. Neal to throw. Good throw, Van Horn, clean take. And another driving ball with their 5-man lineup. Still there. Mr. Asmus has asked for it once. And they release. They're close. They're about a meter short. Not sure who that run was. There's the hooker, Neal. He's isolated. But he's managed to squeeze it back. P-Tech. Inside ball to the winger there. That's Fitzsimmons. He goes back the other way. Harlequin's very good at spreading the ball left and right. Shouting. And it's stolen. Ravens are on their own goal line, looking to kick. And a decent clearing kick there. The Ravens drive them back. The Harlequins have had some good possession, but they just have not been able to punch it over that goal line. And again, the Harlequins go quickly. They're not wasting any time in these lineups whatsoever. Pitek. McAfee. Strong run by the number 8. He's getting smacked hard, but he's staying on his feet, shouting. Over to Van Horn. That's his brother behind him. Driving their feet towards the goal line. Might have been held up here on a maul, but they've retained it. Inside ball to Neal. He gets driven backwards in the tackle by Kendrick. Hooker on Hooker. They're battling away. That ruck's a mess. Could have been penalized there, the Ravens. Nice little pop pass by Pitek. That's Neal again. He's been very active all of a sudden. Penalty advantage, Mr. Asmus is signaling. And they'll come back. Looks exciting on the screen there, but he was playing penalty advantage. I think it was Josh Van Horn bobbled that ball. But I think he's under a little duress anyway. So they got a kickable points here right in front of the sticks. We'll see what they elect to do. So far, no signal. The T-runner's out the field. They've called for a scrum. Interesting call. Very interesting call. Last two were quite dominant by the Harlequins. And they got some good go forward. So Harlequins have split their backfield. Fullback McDonnell and a right winger here, Newman, are to the right. Good scrum by the Harlequins. They get another penalty advantage on the scrum here. And they're dominating them now. It's completely collapsed, and Mr. Asmus has to blow it up for safety purposes. Excellent scrum there by the Harlequins. And there's some people getting up very slowly here. Cam McWilliam coming up slowly. And Josh Van Horn coming up slowly again. Josh hurt himself there earlier when he just before he caught that last pass. He looks to be a little bit shaken up. And Mr. Asmus has let the water carriers come on here to service the teams. So 17-3, probably about 10 minutes left in this half. I don't have an actual clock running here to let you actually know what the actual time is. So once again on the penalty, the Harlequins not surprisingly call for another scrum. Scrum goes down. I'm sure this pace doesn't suit the Harlequins. They seem like they want to play fast. And they're moving the scrum out of some of the muddier part of the field. The field's held up really well here with the rain. We had heavy rain overnight and this morning, and it's let off here for game time. But the field's held up really well with 2 games each day, Friday, 2 games today. Here's the feed by Schouten. Again, it's a solid platform. Not as dominant this time, but it's been collapsed. And they come to the right. This is McDonnell. Steps. Drives into the tackler. And it's stripped again. That time by McClellan. But they called a knock-on in the tackle. It's probably a good call. He stripped it first, but then I think he knocked it forward. So another scrum here to the Harlequins. This time a right field scrum. I don't know if anybody can hear the chirping going on the sidelines here, but the penalty count, if anyone's interested, is 6-6. So the calls are pretty even so far in this game. This time, much traditional back line. Number 11 there is Joe Newman. He's lined up right behind the scrum this time. Let's see if they try to interject his pace as they come off the back of this scrum. Again, Mr. Asmus has to blow it up. These scrums are a mess. Finally ready. Shouting with the feed. Good platform. This time the Ravens get the bite on them, and they're driving them back off the ball. Interesting. And they win themselves a penalty. That's probably the benefit of having some time there to reset themselves. And I'm sure the Ravens are going to slow this down and try to find a good touch finder. It's McClellan to kick. Again, decent kick. Probably gained about 20, 25 meters. And it's Nathan Kendrick to throw. This time the Ravens running their 5 again. Spreading them out. They go throw to the front. Jesse Lee takes it clean. Best. Valu. O'Donoghue with a nice step. Another nice step. But he's knocked it on in contact. And McWilliams played that, possibly from an offside position. And that is correct. Hard not to play that sometimes when it's knocked on like that and just react. But he's played a ball from an offside position. So the Harlequins will kick for touch, I'm sure. Sure they won't take another scrum. So P-Tech to kick. Interesting. In this game, they got balls ready. The hooker's going to run up here, and they're going to go quick. They're not going to wait for the ball to be retrieved from the river or from the forest in the background here. This is Neal. 5-man line out. Sorry, check that. It's a 6. Back ball. Stolen. That's O'Donoghue. Got his hand on it. Ravens secure it. That's Kendrick. Best looking to clear his lines. Possible box kick coming. Slow. Hits it up. Valu. Oh, big tackle. This time Bray gets it. Clears his line. Hits the boundary, so they can't go quick. Another attacking line out here for the Harlequins. They've had all the territory in the last 20 minutes, but they can't score. Again, they're looking to go quick. It's full man. Sorry, check that they've dropped their number 7, Lucas McIver, in the back line. That's Van Horn. Again, it's stolen. Hamilton just jumps right in front of him on a poor throw. Valu goes wide. That's Braid. Offload to McClellan. Nice little pass to Ferguson. Kicks forward. McClellan scampering. Retrieves it and scores under the post, and that's a beautiful counterattack drive. That's a great counterattack try there by the Ravens. Spoiled that line out, went quickly, spread it wide. Braid hit the gain line hard. That was the key run, I think, in that passage of play when he offloaded to McClellan. And McClellan's speed, of course, just can't open people. And he put Ferguson away. Nice little chip kick by Sean Ferguson. And the bounces went their way, and McClellan scores under the post. Looks like that might be halftime. They're looking for a ball. So I think that's brought us to halftime here. With the extras, it'll be 24-3 for the Ravens. But let's not jump the gun here, even though this one is in front of the sticks. And he made it. So the score here at halftime is the Ravens 24, Brantford Harlequins 3.
The bar is open. There's food for the...
We'll take a break here. We'll be back in about 5 minutes, 10 minutes for the second half. Okay, welcome back, everybody. Getting ready here for the second half. It's 24-3 for the Ravens. Very short halftime break. And let's see if we got any substitutions come on. There's Nakai Penny, number 19, has come on. I'm not sure he took off. Looks like he took off McWilliam. I don't see him on the field any longer. And I'll try to get the substitutions as they come on here. It's easy with the Harlequins. Just their white jerseys. If they're white, it's clearly a substitute. There's the kickoff. Went straight out on the fly. So there'll be a scrum back here for the Ravens. They can't take the line out if they want, but they're going to go with the scrum. So it does look like McWilliams come off there, the loose head lock. And it looks like Nakai Penny here is going to bind in at flanker. And Jesse Lee is moving back into the second row like he did on Friday. So that appears to be the only change for the Ravens. Midfield scrum. The Ravens have split their lineup. Henderson, Valu, and Braid are the left. Don't be surprised if they come blind here. Best to feed. Hamilton to Best. They come blind. McClellan looking to put his partner into space. Crazy offload, straight into touch. It'll be a Harlequins throw in. He's asking for it to be called a knock on the Harlequins, but I don't think it did. I think it was straight into touch. They go quickly again. Interesting tactic here by the Harlequins. They just want to get the ball into play on these lineouts. This is Neil. Sorry, check that. Long pass, but it went backwards. That's Kazita cleans it up. Big hit up there by Van Horn. That's McIver. One-off runners again here. This is Josh Van Horn, driven back in the tackle, and a good double tackle there. And the ball spilled backwards. That's Penny. Penny caused that turnover with a great tackle. And there's Jesse Lee scoring under the sticks. Not under the sticks, but it made a very makeable conversion. Nakai Penny, the professional rugby player from Seattle Seawolves, just drove him back in the tackle and coughed that ball up. Superb tackle there by the Ravens. That's what Penny's known for. Strong tackler, good ball runner, and an incredible work rate. Braid to tag on the extras. And we got some substitutions.
Raven tries for number 5, Brian Millette.
So interestingly enough, Jesse Lee, he started as a flanker, has come off, and they brought on number 16, that's Dan Servino, who I believe is the replacement hooker. So it'll be interesting to see how they juggle this lineup. Perhaps Kendrick's going to move to the back row now, because he is actually a lateral back rower. They've kind of converted him to hooker. He does very well at that position. So it'll be interesting to see what their back row is comprised of when we actually get into a scrum. Braid taking his time. High strike. And there he is. First time he's missed all tournament. So P-Tech to restart. Scores now 29-3. Another quick try. They scored right at the end of the half and right at the beginning of this half. Deep kickoff. McClellan to feed it. Oh, he almost knocked down. He juggled it, but he managed to regain it, and he's kicked it straight down. Decent kick. And the Harlequins return the favor. It's the fullback, McDonnell. Weak in contact. The Ravens have countered it. And another steal by the Ravens. Best goes for a snipe. Tackled hard by Van Horn. There's Valu. Braid. Staying strong. Driven through the contact point, one of his forwards. Best. Looking left, looking right. Trying to milk a penalty, he does. So McCollum looked fine touch again here. And pretty mediocre kick. You only get about 15 meters.
Hey! You're not allowed to be honest.
So Kendrick to throw. Ravens go with the short line out again. I think it's a 5-man. So Penny's out in the back lane with Servino. Sloppy. Best. Goes for a snipe. Best driven to the turf. Penny. That's the new man, Servino. Valu plays scrum half. Brave, a little chip through. McClellan. Who's going to win this battle? And it looks like McClellan got to it just in front of McDaniel as he reached down to grab it right at the back of the in goal. Short in goals here at Klahani, but he managed to touch that down. And I got to say, Asmus, the referee, was right on the spot, so he must have seen a clean touchdown. Nice vision there by the Canada player, Connor Braid. And that's McClellan's second try of the game. Him and Ferguson are easily the two biggest try scorers in the tournament so far. Ferguson had 4 the first game, and I believe that's McClellan's 4th as well. Hey, Peter. Connor Braid to add the extras. Strike is high. And he's pulled that one just to the left. So that's 2 in a row he's missed. Score now is 34 for the Ravens and 3 for the Harlequins. So the Harlequins got a deep hole to dig themselves out of. The good news is they got time.
Let's go, Pat! Have a good day! Let's go, Quinn! Let's go!
B-Tech to restart. He goes deep. Looks like Kendrick's going to take this one. Use some good footwork. Slips through one tackle, slips through another. There's Bass. He slows it down. Looking for O'Donoghue. Little tip pass. Oh, through the legs there by Delmonico, I think it was. Check that. That was Costopoulos. Bass. Delmonico. Good hard tackle there by Van Horn. Best. Little pass out the back door. Sloppy there by the Ravens. And Henriksen's forced to kick it off his left foot. Doesn't find touch. McDaniel juggles it, but I think it went backwards. Oh, Mr. Asmus has called a knock on. Not sure about that call. Tough one to see from where he was. However, he's blown the whistle, so we'll have a scrum here for the Ravens. So first scrum here, the second half. Solid platform. Henriksen to Braid. Reaches through a little seam, fends him. Stays on his feet, looking for an offload. There's Penny. Basti McCollum Takes contact. Another flips another offload. There's Best. Braid gets stuffed in the tackle, but managed to offload it again. There's Best. Slithering through the tackles.
There's nobody there.
Pick and go by the Ravens. Little latch play there. Best. Slow ball. Kostopoulos. Driven back in the tackle by Van Horn. Best looking left. Braid. Kicks off his left boot that time. Bit of a speculator kick. And it'll be a Harlequins line out. Looks like O'Donoghue's hurt himself here. Harlequins are going to go quick. Again, they go to the front of the line out. They've been working this all game, and it's worked well. I think there's a replacement hooker on for the Harlequins. I'll try to get his number here shortly. Might be Tyler Mirko. Vitek. That's McIver. And he gains himself a penalty. Yeah, O'Donoghue looks like he's going to have to come off. He looks like a hamstring problem, perhaps. Possibly a knee. Vitek's not going to waste any time, though. And Mr. Asmus is allowing him to play on as he gets treatment. So another substitute here for the Ravens. Number 21, Jake Wolfman, has come on. And I believe he's subbed on at center. Good throw. Van Horn. Here's the 8's driven back in the tackle. That's McElhenney. And he's stripped. That's been the 5th or 6th strip here by the Ravens this game. Bass, probably illegal there for playing the 9. Bit of extracurriculars. Clearly the Harlequins are frustrated. And they go quick. Braid. They're not going to wait. Best is down injured in the back line here. Game's starting to heat up. That's Kostopoulos. That's a high tackle for sure. But he's going to play advantage again. Best is down injured in back play, so they have no 9. McClellan's jumped into the play 9, very savvy of the 15. And there's the penalty advantage called after they kick away possession. Best looks like he's injured here after he was tackled there a little bit unceremoniously by the hooker. So we'll see what Mr. Asmus calls. Definite high tackle here on the near side, which I don't think will be warranting a card. So 2 penalties in quick succession there by the Harlequins. And I don't know if Jordan Sandover-Best is going to be able to continue. He looks very slow to get up here. The Waters come on the field. The referee's going to have a chat here with the Harlequins captain. He's a tough character, Jordan Best. Just shaken up, obviously. Maybe the wind was knocked out of him. He got pile drive pretty good. We'll see what Mr. Asmus decides to do. After watching the UFC fights last night, if anyone else caught it, that was what was happening to Conor McGregor last night. So no cards, just a warning, and it's a penalty again to the Ravens. I think they're looking to make a substitution. No, they're bringing the tee out. Mr. Braid wants to go for points. Perhaps just to slow this down a little bit. So I believe Tyler Mirko's come on at hooker, if I'm not mistaken. I'll try to catch his number here when they turn around. So Braid taking his time. Strike is good. It's high, and he's pulled it again to the left. It's 3 in a row he's missed now. So our first 22 dropout. B-Tech to restart. Setting up to go deep. Dangerous when he got McClellan, Ferguson. Actually, Ferguson's off the field now. That's best. Gets through a little seam. Slow ball. McClellan plays 9. That's Wolfman. Best. Goes down the blind side. Kendrick with a good strong run. Moylet. That's Kendrick there. Sorry, there's a strip of the Harlequins. Well done. They've turned it over. Shouting. Tough pass there. McKelvey did well to hang on to that one. Strong run, a slow ball. The Ravens are off their feet and not releasing. Interesting, O'Donoghue stayed on. He's limping quite badly over to the sideline here to defend this line out. P-Tech finds touch. Barely. So I believe this is Mirko to throw. Harlequins coming quick again. The Van Horn brothers wasting no time whatsoever. Had another little driving line out. The Ravens attempted to not contest it, but unfortunately one man did. And another penalty by the Ravens. Offside. Bit of confusion there by the Ravens. Interesting tactic, though. P-Tech looking to find touch. Again, it'll be another 5-meter line out. Again, the Harlequins come in quickly. Mirko to throw. Van Horn. They just set up a drive. This time it's a shift drive. And they called it not straight, I believe. So it'll be a scrum. So it looks like number 22 here has come on the left wing. Although I see both wingers are still on the field for the Harlequins. So they've taken off, by the looks of things, they're 12. Jordan Kazina, I'm not sure if he's injured. And it looks like number 14, Connor Fitzsimmons, has moved in there to outside center. So we got a new winger. Number 22, Nate Boyanga's on the field on the left wing. Hamilton. Slow ball. This is Valu. A bit of a speculator kick. P-Tech gathers it on the 22. They come wide. This is McDonnell to the new man. Boyanka. Tackle cleanly. Slow ball. Shouting. That's number 12, Kazina. Van Horn, tip ball to Mirko. Mirko gets tackled. Good tackle there by Kendrick. Retains possession, though. P-Tech takes the contact. Shouting again. It's Van Horn again. P-Tech to Mirko. Inside ball. Knocked on. That's a new man as well. Number 18 is going on the field. Paul Ozens. Looks like he came out for Colby Francis. I have to call you a knock on in the tackle by the Ravens. I'd say 20. So number 18's come on the field as well. Paul Austin's playing on the blindside flanker. I think he's taken off Colby Francis. Or check that as McKelvey's come off, I believe. And the loose flanker there, Lucas McIver, has moved into number 8. So a few changes here by the Harlequins. Probably didn't inject some more speed. Feed by Schouten. Scrum's getting dominated by the Ravens. Schouten shovels it. Might have gone forward. He called it backwards. The Ravens have retained possession anyway. Sloppy on the ground. Nobody seems to want to fall on it. And a penalty's gone the way of the Harlequins. Penalty count starting to climb here for the Ravens. So P-Tech will look to find touch. Their lineout's been working well, but they unfortunately have not been able to punch over a try. Score remains 34-3. Can't go quick because he kicked it over the boundary. So they'll have time to set this line out. Going for a full man lineup this time. Kazina setting up right behind this line out. Mirko to throw. Clean take by Van Horn. They drive it again and they shift it.
Touch it down anyways.
Doesn't appear the referee was ready there, so I'm not sure he had time off for some reason. So we'll go again. Harlequins are clearly frustrated with the referee and probably the scoreline. They throw to the front this time. That time is Tom Van Horn. The mall stalls a little bit, but they've rebuilt it. They drive it to the open side. Well done by the Ravens to drive it backwards. P-Tech. Good footwork there by the right winger. That's Fitzsimmons. I believe he's playing outside center now, though. Van Horn. Driven backwards by Penny again. P-Tech. McDonnell. Takes contact. And a turnover here by the Ravens. Ravens inside their own 22. So I think I'm going to a slight knock on there. He's calling a scrum advantage here for the Ravens. Game slowed down here a little bit. He's going to come in and field a little bit for the scrum. That part of the field of the Clown, he's a little bit soggier than usual. A lot of tree growth on that side, doesn't get much sun. So Kendrick remains at hooker for the Ravens. Good platform. His best to feed. Early push was called there against the Harlequins. And this time they decided to tap and go. That's Hamilton driving it up in the tackle. Best. Yes, Chris Taylor's come on the field as well. Connor Braid. Best. Vala. Number 22. That's Harry McBride. He's wearing 19, actually. Nice pullback by Moylette. That looked to be a bit forward. I believe that's Penny who hit it up with that left-hand wing. Again, Moylette goes out the back door this time. McClellan. And he's caught coming back for a penalty. Offside at the ruck. So penalty count this half is 4-4. So Chris Taylor, their player coach, has come on, I believe, at tight head. Katsopoulos is still on the field, and I think Delmonico's been subbed off. Decent kick there by McClellan. Gains about 20 meters. So Kendrick's remaining on the field. He's throwing. They've gone to a 5-man lineup. Ball's been kicked into the bush. Kendrick's got it now. Gedasma slows down the lineup for some reason. Not sure if they're making substitutions. Kendrick to throw. Sloppy. Moylette wins it with a nice little tap back, though. Valo. Penny makes the gain line. Strong run. Best stumbles. Now they're really starting to sling the ball around. There's Braid. Beautiful, well-worked try there. Almost on broken play. Not sure that was a prescribed move, but it was a beautiful move nonetheless. And I'll just check to see who the try scorer is. I think it's Jesse Lee, actually. Guy with the headband. Who's played 6, he's played lock, and he just got himself a try. Well-worked try there. So that's the 5th try of the game for the Ravens. Score's now 39-3. And Braid will try to tack on the extras. But our viewers at home can't. So a little mix-up on the numbers here with the Ravens. I'm not sure what... looks like they put on some different jersey numbers. So number 20 is on the field now, too. I think that's Harry McBride. I can double-check that, but I believe it's Harry McBride. Jesse Lee's had some strong runs. Brian Moylette's had some good carries as well. There's a strike by Braid. And this time he makes it from an acute angle. It's another conversion by Connor Braid.
Go, Mark, go!
So that brings us to 41-3.
Brilliant try scored by Cole Hendrickson.
Cole Hendrickson, sorry, check that.
Made by Connor Braid.
I gave Jesse Lee that try, but it was Cole Hendrickson apparently. They decided to kick it to the right-hand side this time. That's Kendrick. Strong run. Best. Looking for Lee. Decides to pull it out the back door. Valu mishandled.
Up his foot, up his foot.
Lee was knocked on first. Probably both ways, but no. Knocked on by the Harlequins. It'll be a scrum feed to the Ravens. Couple more changes here for the Harlequins. Number 20, Adam Moss has come on. I believe he's a flanker. Can't miss him with that beard. And a new prop has just come on, number 17. That's Dave McLean on the loose head side. Sorry, check that. Adam Moss is coming at scrum half, replacing Shouten, who actually had a strong game. Best. Hamilton to Best. Best to kick. He was inside his own 22. Fine touch. Decent kick. Gains 20 meters. Harlequins throw. Well, let's see if the Harlequins can get a try here before the finish. Mirko to throw. Wasn't the best throw, but they win it. It's Colby Francis. He's turned it over again. Nice pass here. It's number 11, Jeff Rees. Taking strongly in the tackle. Best. Taylor shifts it beautifully over to Kendrick. He's doing some good footwork and drives your contract another 10 meters. Best. Valu. Braid tackle quickly. Valu. Simon's Best playing first receiver. Little pick and go there by Lee. Oh, that's Moylet. Sorry, check that. Again, they go pick and go. Little chip kick. Gathered there by the Harlequins, but under a lot of pressure on their own 5-meter line. They managed to slow it down, but they're not going to kick. Van Horn drives it up. Doesn't gain any meters. That's the new man, Moss. And they gain a penalty. So that's a bit of a let-off. Let's see what the Harlequins decide to do. They're going to slow it down here, look for our line out. Some good sportsmanship there by Valu, helping up his opposite man on a big collision. Scoreline's 41-3 here for the Ravens. Probably about 10 minutes left, maybe a little less. Number 23 has come on the field for the Ravens also. I believe that's the new Irishman, Connor Finn. Merkel, again, they go to the front. It's a great option that the Harlequins have employed. If he's open, they're just winning it quickly. Moss. Loose pass. New man, that's number 22, Nate Boyunga. And the Ravens will have their line out. Again, looks like they're going to set up for 5 men. Robert Jones is also on the field here for the Ravens, I believe. Loose throw. Best. Valu. This time they called a penalty against the Ravens. I'm not sure what that was for. No hand signal by Mr. Asmus, but penalty nonetheless against the Ravens. That's their 6th of the half. Merkel looking to go quickly again. They throw to the middle. It's overthrown, sloppy. And the Ravens retain possession here on that loose throw. That's McClellan dancing, trying to release the ball, but he can't. Good counter ruck here by the Harlequins. Looks like they've stolen it. Moss. Double tackle. That's Penny again, driving him backwards. Van Horn slings it to his brother. Tries to fend off Moylet. Does quite well. Moss, Mirko. Back to Van Horn. Tackle strong by Penny. Incredible work rate by Nakai Penny. That's his 5th or 6th dominant tackle in this game. He's barely even breathing hard. Kendrick to throw. Again, they go to a 5-man. Interesting, they're dropping their front rows out into the back line. But appears to be front row anyway. I'm not sure what Servino's actually playing. If he's playing flanker or hooker. But Kendrick to throw. Bit of confusion here with the Ravens. Hamilton taps it back to Best. This is Vries. Juggles it, and he's stripped in the tackle. Harlequins have turned it over. It's P-Tech. Struggling to get to ground. I think a knock-on advantage here. Again, they double tackle him and drive him back. This is Moss. That's Boyenga, sorry. Van Horn pulls it out the back door to P-Tech. Ravens defense is just smothering. And loose pass. Called it backwards that time. Moss. That might be a high tackle, but no. Again, good strong run there. Didn't catch the number. Van Horn, good tip ball to his prop partner, Mahar. Going to P-Tech. P-Tech's moved to 12 now. And again, the smothering defense, but that time they were called on the offside penalty. Ravens don't seem to mind taking penalties. Just play aggressive defense. Moss. I believe that's Boyenga. Moss. That's the tight end prop. Mahar cut down instantly. Van Horn. Good tackle here by Vries. Driven back. Mirko slid this through a little gap. Moss. Mahar juggles it. And he's knocked it on. Defensive pressure by the Ravens is just smothering and forcing turnovers. So the scoreline is still 41-3. You have feed here to the Ravens. Almost a midfield scrum. They stacked McClellan here on the right with Vries. Might look to go blind. They did this earlier in the half. Oh, just going to be another scrum. Reset the scrum. So Servino's playing on the blindside flank here. Nakai Penny's moved to the open side. Check that. Nakai Penny's now he's in the second row with Moylette. Hamilton remains at number 8 despite the torn jersey. Good scrum. They go blind. McClellan looking to set up Vries. Nice pass. Vries steps again, looks inside, but Moylette couldn't hook up. They've turned it over. It's McDonnell punts it deep down the field. This is Rob Jones stepping. Ooh, dangerous looking tackle there. But they've won a penalty. Harlequins have some life. Let's see if they can get a score on before the end of this half. Try to end this on a good note. So P-Tech looking to find touch. Kicks a nice little banana kick. Beauty. But they've kept it out. McClellan jumps from infield and keeps that ball alive. It'll still be their line out as Valu clears his line just outside the 22 instead of around the 10. So Harlequins here. See if they go quick. They are looking to go quick again. Right to the front. Not wasting any time. There's Mahar. Driven back in the tackle. I believe that's Penny again. Yeah, it was. Good tackle by Connor Hamilton. Moss to Van Horn. His brother on his hip. Looking to clean this ruck. They get quick ball. Moss. Long cutout pass. Moss again. That's Kazina. Moss. Boyanga. Good tackle. Driven back across the gain line again. That's Hamilton. There's Moss. Going even deeper now. Oh, and another booming tackle by Nakai Penny. Just insane tackling by the young man from Seattle Seawolves. Former UBC product.
41-3.
So the substitute Nakai Penny's come on and had a huge impact, especially for the defensive side of the ball. Good clearing kick here. Gained a good 30 meters. Ravens line up. They're going to walk it up, not surprisingly, nice and slow. Kendrick to throw. It's a 5-man again. Back standing very deep. They throw to the back. Sloppy. Best retains it. Tackle there by Francis, I think. Or it might be, check that, it's McIver. Taylor. Valu. To Moylat. Doesn't go anywhere. Best. Tried a nice little inside ball there to number 16. I'm not sure there wasn't a knock on, but it wasn't called. Crowd seems to think one might have got off his face, but anyway, not a knock on. There's Macton. Now they go wide here. Piatek. Some quick feet. Oh, definitely a high tackle there by Valu. And I think he's going to get a card for this. It's accidental. It's accidental. He wasn't definitely malicious. Came over with his apologies. That's Boyanga with the shifty feet there in the left wing. Just a penalty. Definitely accidental. B-Tech. That's some great touch finders. But Smorcheski doesn't give him many meters. So he gained about 15. Mirko to throw. Assuming they'll go quick again. The Van Horn brothers walk in. Four-man line out this time. Van Horn wins cleanly. No contest by the Ravens. This is Kazina. Long pass by Moss. Boyanga. Oh, there's some space. Well done there by the winger. I didn't catch the number. There's Mahar. Lost it in contact. Looks like the Ravens have won this back. And now it's counter-rucked again. But it's a penalty. Looks like hands in the ruck. So So the score remains 41-3. Pass is down again. Looks like he might be cramping this time. And that's the ball game. They kick it in a touch. The Ravens have won. Final score 41 for the EBC Old Boy Ravens and 3 for the Brantford Harlequins. The Ravens are your Canadian Club Championship winner for 2018.
for the trophy presentation. Just a few words about the trophy. There's more awards happening inside after the game. This trophy is named after two families. And two people who were the driving force behind this tournament. And who have both given so much to rugby, from a coaching, playing, organizing, administrating every single level of rugby, from club to region to province to national team. Like them, the cup is a precious antique with good provenance. This tournament and future men's and women's tournaments, with their vision to bring rugby together across the country and to give an opportunity for each province's best club, the true grassroots of Canadian rugby, to compete to be the champion of Canadian club rugby. These gentlemen and families have also contributed significantly to the endowment fund that makes this tournament and the annual universities tournament possible. So to present the plaques and the trophy is Hans de Goody, and the trophy is named the De Goody and Parfrey Cup. So Hans, do you want to present the plaques first to the second place team, the Brantford Harlequins. And to the winners, UBC Old Boys Ravens. Now the cup. And it's on a temporary base. We didn't have time to get that done, but we'll get all that fixed up in due course.